My name is Shella Carter. I was 16 when my mother, Sarah, passed away unexpectedly. It was a freak accident, a car crash on a rainy night. She had gone to pick up my little cousin from ballet practice and never came home. Just like that, the woman who lit up our house with her laughter, who could calm my anxiety with just a warm hug, was gone. My world shattered. But more than anything, it was my father, Mark, the strongest man I had ever known, who broke in ways I never thought possible. In the days following the funeral, our house felt like a museum. Everything remained still and untouched. Her perfume lingered faintly in the master bedroom. Her slippers sat quietly by the side of the bed. Even the last mug of tea she used remained untouched in the dishwasher. I tried to grieve, but I didn't know how. All I knew was that Dad wasn't himself anymore. He used to be the kind of father who'd wake up early to make pancakes, drive me to school with music blasting, and dance with Mom in the kitchen, even when no one was watching. After she died, he became a shadow of that man. He'd sit in his recliner for hours, staring blankly at the TV with the volume muted. He rarely spoke, and when he did, it was curt and emotionless. I'd ask if he needed anything, but he'd only nod or shake his head. Sometimes he forgot to eat. Other times, he wouldn't come out of his room for an entire day. I was grieving too, but I had to push my feelings aside. I was still in high school, and life had to continue somehow. So, I did my best. I woke up on time, went to class, did my homework, made dinner. I even folded the laundry, something Mom used to do, while humming her favorite 80s songs. It felt like I was trying to step into her shoes, hoping that if I could fill the emptiness she left behind, maybe Dad would come back to me. But nothing I did seemed to work. One night, I walked into the kitchen and found Dad sitting at the table with a photo album, the one Mom had made during their 20th anniversary trip to the Grand Canyon. He looked up at me, his eyes red-rimmed, and said quietly, "She really was everything, wasn't she?" It was the first time he'd spoken to me in days. I nodded, tears silently streaming down my cheeks. He didn't cry. He just sat there flipping through the pages like they were the last fragile threads connecting him to the life he'd lost. Weeks turned into months. Winter came. The house felt colder, not just because of the weather but because of the silence between us. We barely spoke. I missed him. I missed both of them. But then, something changed. It was a Tuesday, I remember, because it was the first snowfall of the season. I came home to find Dad in the garage, sorting through Mom's old Christmas decorations. He was holding a box labeled porch lights, Sarah's favorites. I approached slowly, unsure if I should say anything. Before I could speak, he looked at me and said, "We should decorate this year." She'd want that. And so we did. It wasn't perfect. The lights were tangled, the tree leaned a little to the left, and most of the ornaments didn't match. But for the first time in months, we laughed. Real laughter. I remember Dad putting on a Santa hat and singing terribly off-key to Mariah Carey. I couldn't believe it, but for a moment, it felt like he was coming back. That night, we sat in the living room with hot cocoa, watching the fire flicker. Dad turned to me and said something I'll never forget. "I haven't been fair to you. I shut down, and you were left to carry everything." "I'm so sorry, Emily." I didn't need an apology. I just needed him. But hearing those words unlocked something in me. I finally let myself cry. Really cry. I told him how I missed Mom every single day. How I didn't know how to live in a world without her. And how it hurt to see him suffering in silence. We held each other, father and daughter, broken but beginning to heal. From that moment on, we made an unspoken promise. We would move forward together, not move on. Because you never truly move on from a loss like that. But you can move forward. The months that followed were full of small, steady steps. Dad started going to grief counseling. I joined a support group at school. We talked more. Cooked together. We even started a weekend tradition. Old movies and pizza. It wasn't always easy. Grief doesn't follow a straight line. There were days I'd find Dad sitting by Mom's favorite window, lost in thought. And there were nights when I'd crawl into her closet just to breathe in the scent of her clothes. But we had each other. And that made all the difference. A year passed. On the anniversary of her death, We planted a cherry blossom tree in the backyard, her favorite. We placed a small plaque beside it, in loving memory of Sarah Carter. Our light, our love. That tree became our quiet place, a reminder of the beauty she brought into our lives. Life slowly found a new rhythm. I graduated high school, and Dad was there, front row, clapping louder than anyone else. He even gave a speech at my graduation party, telling everyone how proud he was and how he couldn't have made it through the last 2 years without me. Of course, I cried. But they were tears of love, not pain. Now, as I write this, I'm sitting on my college dorm bed. My dad and I talk every day, even if it's just a quick check-in. He's smiling again, living again. He started volunteering at a local community center, teaching kids how to fix things just like he used to teach me to ride my bike or build birdhouses. Grief changes you. Forever. You don't stay the same. I wasn't the same girl after my mom died, and my father wasn't the same man. But we learned to live with the hole in our hearts. We learned to let light in through the cracks. Mom is still with us. Not the way we want her to be, but in every laugh we share, every meal we cook, every lesson she left behind. And even though we lost her too soon, we gained something in return, a deeper bond, a stronger appreciation for each other, and the knowledge that love, even in loss, is powerful enough to carry us through the darkest of days. My father wasn't the same after my mother died. Neither was I. But maybe, just maybe, we became something even stronger.